Hello and welcome everyone to the very first episode of the UCD Ageing Network podcast. My name is Olayinka. I'm an assistant professor here at UCD and I'm thrilled to be your host today as we officially launch a podcast dedicated to creating conversations around aging, justice, health, inclusion, and the future we all share. We are launching this podcast as part of the wider vision of the UCD Ageing Network, a bold and timely initiative bringing together researchers, educators, professionals, and community voices who are passionate about creating a world that is not only age-friendly, but truly age-attuned. Our vision is clear: to contribute to a society, both in Ireland and globally, that recognizes older people as valued, respected, and active contributors, and where needed, to ensure they are well cared for right within their communities. The network is built on the principles of equity, inclusion, and intergenerational respect. We believe that aging well is everyone's business, and through interdisciplinary research and collaboration, we are setting out to shape a future that reflects these values. And what better way to kick off this journey than with one of the esteemed network members who has been instrumental in shaping discourse on elder justice, human rights, and safeguarding, Dr. Sarah Donnelly. Okay. Sarah is a respected academic and researcher whose work speaks directly to the heart of what we hope to achieve in this network: dignity, protection, and empowerment for older persons. Sarah, it's such a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for being our first speaker, right? Can you share with our listeners a bit about what drew you to this field and why this networking, in your view?
Of course, Ola, and thank you so much for that lovely introduction, and also thank you so much for driving this really important initiative that will form part of our UCD Ageing Network. In terms of my own interest, I suppose my interest in older people and working with older people really stemmed from my time as a medical social worker in Tally University Hospital, where I worked for a number of years there with their age-related healthcare team. And it was really via my clinical work and also by completing my PhD there that I really became very interested in the whole issue of older people and their human rights, particularly within the context of capacity and decision making. I then moved to UCD at about 2014, and I suppose it really struck me when I started working in UCD that while there was lots of amazing aging relating research going on, that there wasn't really a central focus for that, and there wasn't really kind of a collective identity for the huge diversity of researchers and educators that we have here in UCD. And I suppose for me that was something I really struggled with. And I suppose over the course of my time in UCD, I had various conversations with other academics and colleagues, and I suppose over time I began to realise, look, I think there is a space for a UCD Ageing Network, and that was something that would be really important to have that collective voice and that collective identity around ageing research here in University College Dublin. I suppose I have to really acknowledge and give thanks to two of my colleagues in the School of Social Policy, Social Work and Social Justice, Dr. Maria Pearce, who's now moved to Maynooth University, and Dr. Now Kodade, who were really instrumental in helping to get the network up and running in the first instance, and obviously also the Geary Institute and Professor Michelle Norris, who really has agreed to support the network, I suppose, going forward, and we're now falling under the Geary umbrella. In terms of what the network's about, really it's about trying to bring together to develop interdisciplinary research, transdisciplinary research, I suppose to create a space where we can share issues around our ageing research and teaching, to develop new initiatives together. But I think for me a key piece also is, I suppose, bringing in our academic partners. So for example, within our network we have several consultant geriatricians from St Vincent's Hospital, from the Mather Hospital, and I think their input is vital. But aligned with that, what we also really want to do is to try and disseminate our research in a meaningful, accessible way so that older people in our local communities and within Ireland can also access and have a better understanding of the excellent work that's going on. Again, I think there's a huge outreach piece. We want to involve our older people in the local communities, but we also want to use the network as a mechanism to influence and shape public policy, whether that's pension policy, healthcare policy, home care provision, housing. Again, aging populations is something to celebrate, but it also, I suppose, creates challenges, but also opportunities for Ireland in terms of how we respond to our aging population. And I think for me, the other really important thing is aging is a universal human experience.
Yeah.
We are all every day getting
Absolutely.
older, and it's of interest to me not only professionally but also on a personal level. And I think that's the case for many people in terms of their own families, whether that's parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, or indeed people in local communities. So I think this is an issue that's of interest and importance to us all.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing that. You've touched on something so vital: how we frame aging, not as a burden, but as a stage of life, full of value, contribution, and rights that must be protected. But before we go on, could you just tell us more a bit about the upcoming UCD Ageing Network launch?
Okay, Ola, we are having the official launch of the UCD Ageing Network on Wednesday, the 25th of June. It's going to run from 11 to about 12:30, and this is really, I suppose, a pivotal moment for our network. I suppose we're still very much in our infancy, but we kind of feel the time is right to go live a little bit more to try and grow our membership. And on the day, we're going to have a number of different speakers. We're also going to officially launch this podcast as well. And really, our audience on the day will be academics, I suppose educators, PhD students, but also hopefully some of our advocacy organisations representing older people and kind of key stakeholders. As I said, that the launch really is about, I suppose, formally launching the network and hopefully increasing our membership, but also knowledge and awareness of what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Like you said, the launch is more about creating the awareness, right, about what the UCD Ageing Network is about. Can you just, in a way, maybe summarize, or you want to hint us more about the core features or what to expect from the UCD Ageing Network in terms of membership, who will be, part of the membership for those who are interested to be members of the UCD Ageing Network, and what should we expect?
Okay, at the moment, Ola, we have a really dynamic, engaged membership. We're quite small. We have about 40 on our mailing list at the moment.
40?
Yeah.
That's not small.
No, it's not too small, but we're getting there. But we have a really dedicated, I'd say, group of about 20 people who have been attending all of our meetings. And again, we really want to grow the membership to be much more interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary. At the moment, I would say we're very well represented in terms of kind of social sciences and also health systems, but we really want to try and engage members, within business, within law, from the Conway Institute. There's parts of the university we really would like to have more membership, and we know they're there. And even, I suppose, since we went live on social media, we've seen a lot more interest and contact from some of the academics in those sectors. However, we do also really want the network to be open to UCD students, PhD students, postdoctoral researchers, and as I said, those key stakeholders, whether that's our academic partners, but also advocacy organisations. We really feel that there's a key role there for us to work together. And one of our initiatives going forward, we hope will be one of our members, Dr. Nat O'Connor, also has links with Age Action. So again, we feel that there's lots of opportunities to work together to influence many of the policies that will impact on our older people going forward.
Thank you very much. And just in terms of contacts, in case there's anybody interested to reach out to the UCD Ageing Network, where can we find
Where can you find us? Okay, well, we are on LinkedIn under UCD Ageing Network. We also have a Blue Sky account, but you can contact me directly on my email address, which is sarah.donnelly@ucd.ie, and we also have a specific UCD Ageing email address, which I can't recollect right now, but we can put that up for our listeners so people can make contact and join that way.
That sounds fantastic, Dr. Sarah. And could you share a little about the diversity of members in the UCD Ageing Network?
Yeah, we have a huge diversity of researchers here in UCD as it is, and I suppose we're keen that the network would really reflect that, Ola. And I suppose at the moment we feel the diversity of our membership in the network is one of our greatest strengths, but we're really keen to grow and further develop that. So at the moment we have researchers focusing on biological, social, psychological and policy aspects of ageing, alongside practitioners who work directly with older adults in both healthcare and community settings. And what this really allows is fostering a rich exchange of ideas, it encourages innovative solutions and ensures that our research and education really remains grounded in the real world needs and experiences of older people. I suppose for me personally, it also helps us to really advocate for age justice in a way that's truly inclusive, recognising the voices and rights of older people from all backgrounds. So I suppose this really is a call to any ageing researchers in UCD in other schools and other disciplines to really consider joining the network, because our strength is in that collective identity and really bringing that interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary lens to our work going forward.
I love that our strength lies from our diversity, right, Dr. Sarah? Thank you so much for those insightful reflections. So as we close today's episode, I want to invite all listeners to stay connected with us. This podcast will be a monthly space where we bring you stories, research updates, expert interviews, and community voices, all focused on aging well, health, equity, and innovation. We plan to release new episodes on the last Friday of every month, so please subscribe and join us on this journey towards a more age-friendly world. Thank you again, Dr. Sarah, for joining us today and sharing your expertise. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to the UCD Ageing Network podcast today. Together, let's continue to work towards a future where everyone can age well with dignity, respect, and opportunity. Until next time, take care.